So the sect that were given the power to develop earth actually developed earth. They were the one that created Adam and Eve on earth. Same power was given to others. You know, I told you, billions of them. So most of them are in charge of different solar systems. The ones that were in charge of our own solar system created us. Back again today to continue teaching you rubbish. You know, in our last episode, I told you that God has no hands in the creation of man, in the creation of mankind, like the creation of Adam and Eve, who is the first man. God has no hands. So today, I want to expose the people or the entities that created Adam and Eve. Note, they are in plural, not one. So you don't say God created. Maybe the Bible has found a means of a way of singularizing them and call them God. And you now feel that is the Almighty God. No. The Almighty God is the universe, as I earlier discussed with you, is the universe, the unseen and the seen universe, the physical and the spiritual universe. That is who God is. He embellies everything. Right? He is the beginning and the end. Right? Everything about him has been done. Everything has been done. So he has no business with you. He has no business with you. Now, let's unravel the actual entity you've got to worship, the actual entity you've got to pray to, the actual entities that created Adam and Eve. In as much as I don't like, dragging the Bible into this, today I would like to, get some help from the Bible. In Genesis 1, you will see where God said, let us create man in our own likeness, that is, in our own image. Let us, mark the word, us. The real question is, who was speaking? Whose voice was that? And who was he speaking to? Was he speaking to himself? Or was he speaking to the Spirit, the Son, and the Father? Like the Trinity. Maybe the Trinity came together and be like, come on, let us create men in our own image. Come on, let's create men in our own image. So just like me talking to myself. Say, Simeon, bro, let us go and create this thing in our own image. Sorry. So that is question. That is the question. Now another passage is still in Genesis. That said, now man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. That is when Eve that is when Eve chop apple or carry the apple, go give Adam, make Adam eat. Man come wise up, no brain don't open, everywhere don't clear. Say, oh, this is sweet, oh, this apple, this apple makes sense, so. And so they now look at it. See, man has now become like one of us. What voice was that? Who was speaking? That is the question. Who was he talking to? In Genesis, come, let us now go down and confuse their language and set confusion in their language. Whose voice was that? Who was it talking to? Who was it talking to? Whose voice? Whose voice? Whose voice was that? Because you can tell me that is the voice of the Almighty God, the Olori of Olori, the all and all, the Onbobo. that can't be his voice. Even the story of the Babel, because that passage comes from the story of the Babel in Babylon, where the Babylonians were curious to see God, and they started building the Tower of Babel, and it almost got to God. Hey God, oh God. And it almost, the tower in their era, in that age where technology was not as advanced as this. They could build a tower that passes the troposphere, where we have our own layer, enters into the is it stratosphere they call it, or whatever they call it, until it passes other layers, and it got to God, and it almost got to God. No, now that story itself just get us a deal. We will treat some. We will really treat them. But today, I want to reveal who the Almighty. No, I revealed who the Almighty God is. So of course, I told you, He is the universe, the all and all, the beginning and the end, the one that has already done everything. He created the earth. I mean the planet Earth. I'm not talking about cultivating the earth. I'm not talking about humans in the earth. I'm not talking about animals in the earth. I'm not talking about plants in the earth. Just the planet, the way He created all other planets and galaxies. He created the planets, but never filled the planet. Never created humans in the planet. Never created animals in the planet. Never created plants in the planet. That is why in the beginning of the Genesis, you see something like the earth was without form and void. So with all these passages we've made reference to, who was it speaking to? Who was it talking to? Who was that person that was talking? That wasn't the Almighty God. That wasn't the universe talking. Those were, including the person that was talking and the person he was talking to, who he was talking to. They are all gods. They are all celestial bodies. They are all, immortal bodies that has been given the power to develop this universe, to develop God Himself, to develop God Himself, to develop everything, every part of God. It sounds weird and mad and somehow, but that is what it feels, and that is the possibilities. These gods, celestial bodies, they are in their billions. So the sect that were given the power to develop Earth actually developed Earth. They were the one that created Adam and Eve on Earth. Same power was given to others. I told you, billions of them. So most of them are in charge of different solar systems. The ones that were in charge of our own solar system created us. They might not just be in charge of our solar system alone, because there are billions of solar systems. They might be the one in charge of our Milky Way galaxy. Right? Yes, they might be in charge. And go come tell me say, now only this earth, now him, they develop. Go come tell me say, the idea of creating man only ended on Earth, on planet Earth, when there are billions, trillions of galaxies. And in each of those galaxies, billions of solar systems. And in each of those solar systems, planets like planet Earth, you can't tell me say Earth was too special. Too special. And so, that is the only place their idea was formed around. No, we are not alone. There are aliens. And all these people, whatever they might have created in other planets, in other galaxies, were not created by God as well. They were created by these gods. But it's good to call them our God. Singularize them. Call them our God. Because they are actually our God. They created us. They control everything on this earth. And if you have to pray, you should pray to your gods. To those gods. If you have the understanding that they are not just one, they are gods, and you feel like you can singularize them, no problem. God, pray to God, your God, as long as you understand what I'm trying to say. But don't tell me they are the Almighty God, because they have limits. They are controlled by the Almighty God through laws, through principles. So they don't fit to pass them themselves. They don't fit to pass themselves. They have their rules, their laws, their principles. They are all of them, all the gods. make I even shock you, say, Lucifer, you're hearing, is part of the gods. So, because if you go to Job, you will actually see that the sons of God went to pay homage to God, to the universe, and was part of them, was in their midst, which means he is also one of them.